they'll be highly susceptible to the Hayabusa.
I'm also thinking about the 1-1 possibility here for Hiko even. If like Falcon Esports, their lineup is just so much focused on the front lines, the melee heroes, that their range is kind of limited just from the Bruno right now. And I don't think that they'd be trying to pick up the Farsa into this kind of composition as well. So they reserve their gold laner for later.
Done. It's done.
And now what does Falcon Esports go for? What does PX7 pick into this kind of composition? The Valentina is still there. The Louis is still there. But like...
I think your best bet, even Loi feels kind of bad, right? It really depends on the angle of which you want to approach these fights. I mean, you have to at this point. I feel like you don't have a choice. And they, with the chip, maybe they can come up with some more creative angles here. Falcons really have to execute a strong game because right now, I'm saying that TS has got the draft down to a T. This should be a Granger pick.
Yeah, this is a winning draft for Team Spirit. But Falcon might just be able to pull off some moves in the game to force game number 4. But whether it's a Granger, the fact that they pick up the Farsa sort of turns off the idea of a 1-1 unless Team Spirit is that brave enough.
I mean, it's Granger or Beatrix. Either way, you're chunking out your opponents and looking to help set up for Eve, Granger, and now you're just going to let One Shot just do his thing. Well done. Well done. Beautiful draft by Team Spirit.
Team Spirit might have just already secured game number 3 in the draft alone. But if we know Myanmar and if we know Falcon, they will fight, they will claw, and they will try to continue flying to go to Akshara Arena. Potentially the last game. Is it Force 4 or end it here?
It's a great question to ask here, panel. Thank you again for breaking it down. It's match point for Team Spirit. Again, I'm Nice and this is Ingan to bring you potentially the last game, but can Falcon Esports bring a game in their favor to extend the series? They've done it before. Can they do it here?
I mean, just looking at the draft, I agree. Team Spirit has won, but again, that's just 50% of the match. Falcon Esports, if they can execute this to perfection, they have a huge advantage when it comes to macro. And if they can outplay Team Spirit in that category, we can just see another 5-game series. Nice, too.
We can hope. We can wish, but we might have to wait as we jump into the land of Dawn. Once again, the greater 4 is what both of these teams are fighting for, and Team Spirit is closer than ever at match point right now. A different draft again this time around for both teams, but nonetheless, the game plan for Team Spirit and Falcon Esports is the same. But I think that's the big question. Falcon Esports got their picks. I mean, for Benny specifically, gets the Bruno. This guy's got a huge win rate on this hero alone, a signature pick for him. But is it going to be enough to actually go against what Team Spirit brought to the table? Looking at the emblems real quick, too. He's got that little extra defense, of course, the tenacity, some of that extra crit, quantum charge is what he's running, has a flicker to help him out, but also is going to have to rely on Kid X. And over on the other side, Hiko has been phenomenal. Just, again, the youngest player right now in the whole tournament, and he's been doing great. I mean, even though he gets his hands on the Granger, another favorite pick of his when he does see something like the Bruno across from him.
Oh, they're ganking up Royal Milk right away. Wiggy Shadow Kill will do the job for One Shot to take away Royal Milk. And I was about to say, apart from Benny who needs to step up, it's also Royal Milk. Because if we're going to look back at how Falcon Esports played against Fnatic on the Philippines, this was actually Royal Milk popping off in the early game. So they had to rely on the XP lane to dominate that laning phase and eventually let Benny reach his power spike early on and just wreak havoc against their teams. But with an early kill onto the CC, this might just be the same story that we've seen for Game 1 and Game 2.
And part of that is the fact that that early kill, that first blood, went in the hands of One Shot. And I said this in the last game, you know, One Shot didn't get that first blood, but he was part of it. But this time that he gets this, you know, small advantage as it is, it gives you that confidence also on a hyper-scaling hero like Hayabusa to go ahead and get somewhat of an advantage. And maybe that's why Dax still went with his Fredrin. They trying to make a play.
Trying to make a play onto Kid Bomba. And they're going to do so successfully. A lot of our artillery coming in from PX7 to dish out the damage onto Kid Bomba and Team Spirit. How will they react? Because so far, One Shot goes in. Stun coming in from the members of Falcon Esports. And that was a huge shutdown to bring down the jungler of Team Spirit. And just like Game 1 and Game 2, Falcon Esports will again control the first turtle.
Well, there's what you need to do if you're Falcon Esports and you want to extend the series. You shut down a One Shot. Great usage of all the tools they had in their favor, not only that, they started that fight again on Kid Bomba. It looked like Team Spirit was like, you know what, we do want to rotate, we do want to go ahead and contest this, or grab that first turtle even after getting the first blood. But then they got punished.
Yeah, again, that first blood from a one-shot to take down Royal Milk might just be more disadvantageous for Team Spirit because that enabled them to, you know, go for the dance and just give them a lot of false sense of confidence to try and take down a member of Falcon Esports. But Falcon Esports was ready for that. And speaking of ready, here comes the dynamic duo of Kid Bomba and a one-shot.
Bomba!
Again, Bomba, but they answer back. The turret damage was there successfully to bring down Kid Bomba, so there was still a trade for Falcon Esports.
Yep, Kid Bomba goes down onto the turret, but again, a kill in the hands of one shot. Hiko now picking up the first item, gets the Hunter Strike. Over on the other side, Benny still working on his, but does have the level 2 boots. Of course, to deal with that mid lane, though. PX7 gone. Mid lane still going?
At that point, just the AOG was just there for safety in case Falcon Esports PX7 was going to use the wings by wings. But real world manipulation at this point was more than enough to stun out PX7, even if it's a Farsa with the wings by wings. So right now, Team Spirit, they're upping the tempo. And this is what actually Gideon was saying a while ago. If you want to go against Team Spirit, if you want to beat them, you really have to control the tempo. You cannot let Team Spirit dictate the pace of the game, as we've seen from game number 1 and game number 2. As one shot picks his first item, the Hunter Strike is there.
Again, if they win this, if Team Spirit ends up getting a sweep, I think a lot of people would say they're surprised, because I heard different things coming into the matchup, especially after what we saw the matchup with Falcon Esports and Fnatic Onyx just previously. So for Team Spirit to make this adjustment, I gotta agree with even what Brigida mentioned. You know, this is a very different Team Spirit that has improved, obviously, throughout all the M series, but even in this tournament alone, throughout M6, man, they have just improved individually, but as a team as well, and it really shows in all the lanes, and they make that synergy really pop off, and you allow every one of them to shine in their role.
I mean, maybe that's a lower bracket buff. Again, they have more games, more pressure. So right now, Team Spirit has a kind of a more exercise for them to execute their...
They got more reps.
Yeah, they got more reps in as one shot goes in, trying to go for the rep that they wanted to try and bring down. Here comes 7, but what a shot from Eiko! That's Sonata again to bring down Kid X. But all the while, Dax was just focused on their objective. Got the second turtle again for Falcon Esports. One shot though. Wiggy Shadow Kill gonna connect onto Royal Milk. Is it gonna be enough though? It won't. But again, that's just one shot saying that you have to consider the fact that I have already damage and I can burst down even the XP laner of Falcon Esports.
Right now, a lot of focus here on the bottom side. Sawa coming back in. Dax will go ahead. Razor's Wrath, but it's just to keep them in check. Not sure if they still make a play. It's still going to be used, though.
Okay, they're going to make a play. Energy Eruption is going to connect, plus the Crash Course. It's more than enough to bring down Sawo, and Sawo didn't even pop his Revitalize. He's going to save it later on for an early engage. A team fight for Team Spirit. And there's PX7, you can already feel the damage coming in from the Feathered Airstrike. Just one beautiful set from Falcon Esports, one beautiful shortcut can do the job and turn things around and break the tempo once again of Team Spirit.
Dax is doing about the best he can. Obviously, with things happening all over the map. Oh no, Royal Milk.
Again, one shot. It seems reminiscent of the game wherein... What was that game when... Wait. Okay. The answer of Falcon Esports. Utilizing the shortcut to try and bring down one shot once again. That's 2 already to jungler of Team Spirit.
Great choice to go ahead and find an answer back, but this is the tier 1 also going down. Team Spirit grabs that, but they had to use a shortcut. I mean, there has to be an answer to one shot, just kind of visiting up every single time, you know, able to find Royal Milk. Mid lane, Sunset Lover in trouble. Oh, okay.
Gonna go on Kid Bomba. Forced to use the ultimate, but got cancelled out by Dax. Okay, here's the ultimate. AOG coming in from Sabo. Real world manipulation is there, but they're going to be able to take down Kid Bomba. Counter engage coming in from Falcon Esports. Another energy eruption onto Higo. One more hit is not going to be enough. He's going to be able to dash out. And again, Team Spirit. Now you see Falcon Esports, the version that actually took Fnatic Onyx Philippines to 5 games. They're now controlling the pace and the tempo.
Controlling the pace. Dax doing work, like I mentioned earlier. You know, a lot of times there's team fights happening around the map. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and grab these objectives, focus on the turtles. This is and should be 3 for 3. I don't think one shot's going to be able to go ahead and steal this out. Does try to get in position, but it is going to be spotted. Kid X finds him. But right now, Dax just has control over the objectives, and there it is, 3 for 3 now. As long as Falcon Esports just focuses on that, and that might be the game plan for them. Again, dealing with, let's just secure objectives, turrets down, and then we can fight things out. Royal Milk again. Shadow Kill going to be used, but little bit tankier this time, but he's fine. We'll back off mid lane.
Okay, real world manipulation is there.
Oh.
Team Spirit, we're just waiting for the counter. Kate, but Benny gets a kill onto Sunset Lover. Now trying to work on Kid Bomba. Split is there. Team Spirit will evade another death coming in, but just look at Hiko. PX7 just demolished in the mid lane. Kidx from the back pops a shortcut. Royal Milk just doing the yo-yo blitz and brings down one shot also.
Oh man, one shot, you know, getting caught into that shortcut. Good play from Kidx even to utilize the conceal, but someone's got to do something either gold laner, and that's always why we were talking about this trend for both these teams. The gold laners are who you want to be able to shut down if you want to get the upper hand. And Hiko has been on point. Benny as well, able to pick up a couple kills. And even looking at the items, you know, you have Benny with the Malefic Gun and the Haas Claws already. Mid lane, Feathered Airstrike, really able to just kind of zone off Team Spirit in a lot of those points where they get pressure. So as long as they play around the Feathered Airstrike, Falcon Esports might be able to go ahead and get some more map control here.
You know, honestly, at this rate, Falcon Esports, with the lead that they established, the only thing that could actually make them lose might just be the positioning once again of Kidx. Because again, you have the luxury of using your Y-Walk, going in for those crucial positions to try and get information. But on the other hand, they're going to gank up on Royal Milk once again. A lot of ultimates has been used, but that was more than enough to bring down Royal Milk.
Oh, look at this. The possible response to it. It's going to get spotted out, though, with one Death Sonata. That turret's nearly going to go down, and we'll clear this out. What one hit from the cannon minion won't take the turret down, one shot away on that, but Lord is now up as Team Spirit is going to go ahead and rotate towards there. Again, they might be able to go for a pickoff if they can before they actually commit to the Lord. But it looks like they get the space advantage already to work around with. Falcon Esports going to have to get here in time there. Kidx shows up, waiting to utilize the shortcut if he has to. They take their time. Dax now takes control of the Lord right now on the Fredrin. It's the best thing to be able to do on that hero, but it looks like they might just go ahead and let it go for now. Not really with an advantage that they're looking for in terms of space.
Oh, Royal Milk! Okay, so able to escape. Here comes the AOG plus the shortcut coming in from Kidx, though. It's going to be a 5-on-5 flash. Artillery coming in from PX7 with a Feathered Airstrike. Going to bring down Sawo, and that's a huge advantage for Falcon Esports. Hiko, though, on the other hand, that's not going to connect onto Royal Milk. No casualties for Falcon Esports.
No casualties. Sawo is the only one that went down in one shot. Meanwhile, is getting the buff. We'll see if they actually commit to the Lord. They might still second guess this. They're going to take control, and it looks like Falcon Esports should be able to secure themselves a Lord, locking in another objective. So objectively, Falcon Esports has been on point for this game. We'll see if they're able to utilize this now and get more momentum in their favor as they work on this tier 2. Benny knocking it down, turret falls. Again, the Feathered Airstrike has been a nuisance for Team Spirit, really trying to work against that.
I mean, just going back to the draft, the way we saw things, it was really hard to execute a Fredrin up against Eve, especially if you were going to play around the real-world manipulation. But for some reason, Falcon Esports was able to work around that, really heavily utilizing the fact that they have Kidx with a shortcut that they can just literally go for the backline, avoid the real-world manipulation. But apart from that, I'd like to commend Royal Milk, because Royal Milk has been a huge distraction for Falcon Esports, to the point that One Shot is always trying to go for Royal Milk because he knows that he can't go for Benny. Benny has a lot of guards, a lot of bodies ahead of him, protecting. It's like protecting the precedent all over again.
That's the story of the two teams for the most part. But this time around, so important for Benny and really relying on it. And PX7's been doing a phenomenal job himself, just kind of locking things down with a Feathered Airstrike. You would think, you know, once that Feathered Airstrike is down, that's the best opportunity for Team Spirit to answer back. But it's also just been creative usage of having the Chip. Again, Chip, a hero that was so dominant before, you know, brought so much presence to the map. Still does, but is a little bit less successful than it was previously when it was always contended or banned out in some way or another. But Kidx has done a good job, whether it's concealed play, whether he's dropping down the shortcut to collapse down on One Shot when One Shot makes a play. Great usage. Winter Crown now defensively for Royal Milk. Royal Milk's had a hell of a time, man. He's been getting focused down for so long. Well, now he can buy himself more time. He's quite tanky himself, even with the Oracle now. So Royal Milk's biggest thing is he's just the distraction at this point. You know, get a lot of that focus on you if he can, and then let the rest of the team shine. As long as they take care of Benny, Falcon Esports should be okay.
Yeah, but again, if we go back to KidX, specifically the chip, it could be a double-edged sword for Falcon Esports because we've seen a chip used against the team that was using it. I remember it was a Joy that was trying to defend their inhibitor-based turret, and because the chip went in with a shortcut, they were able to turn things around, and that could be the same story for the side of Team Spirit to utilize the over-aggression, the false sense of confidence that they're getting with a 2.7k gold lead and a huge map control. So right now, Team Spirit, the main objective, again, is to try and target Benny, prevent his early game power spike, and as much as possible, just literally try to, look for entry points that KidX could utilize against them.
Right now, they're just trying to control from losing their side of the jungle, because Falcon Esports has been all over the place, playing around the advantage that they have. Again, even down to the turrets. Team Spirit only has one turret down, and that's in the bottom lane. So now, on that side of that bottom lane, the Lord does come up. Falcon will get in position. One shot checks things out. He's going to get the information he needs. I don't think you want to go ahead and walk up to this. They might just give this away. It's going to be blitzed down. They go in.
One shot. Let's see. Okay, they're waiting for the perfect opportunity, but still Dax gets the Lord. Here comes the attack of Falcon Esports. Royal Milk just trying to work on Kid Bomba. Benny gets the kill onto Bomba, plus onto one shot. The two members down for Team Spirit and Falcon Esports. They also got the Lord.
Yeah, a little miscommunication, it seemed like, from Team Spirit that time. I mean, it didn't seem like they really had a singular plan on how they wanted to approach that. One shot was in range also of the Lord, but not able to win the retry, but then also gets kind of caught out. So with that, Falcon Esports not only gets that Lord, but they'll take some of these base turrets too. Feathered Airstrike already enough to drop down as Royal Milk just goes ahead and yo-yos down in the front side.
Just look at Royal Milk and Benny. I mean, the combination. Oh, here you go. One more, and Detonat is going to connect. Royal Milk, you overstayed your welcome, and we will take you down. This might be Team Spirit opening to try and save their inhibitor turrets in the top and mid lane as they work on the second Lord up top.
Really? Yeah, he did overstay. I mean, I guess he's just showing him yo-yo tricks is what he wanted to do because it was him versus 3, and the Lord is going to be worked on. It's taken out. They lose that base turret, though. Down the bottom side, Sawa jumps in.
PX7 was able to evade that with the wing spike, but here comes one shot with the shadow kill. No, that's again for the side of Falcon Esports. So that was two ultimates used up by Team Spirit, but they failed again to take down a major damage dealer for Falcon Esports.
Surprising here. The amount of damage Sunset Lover is obviously able to set up Hiko alongside him. Whenever that real-world manipulation is dropped down, you kind of have some free reign. And then even for PX7, it's just those are the very precise damage that comes from PX7 with a Feathered Airstrike. So in turn, Team Spirit, if they drag the game out longer, they do have a deficit to work against, about 5,000 at this point. But even that being said, they could still technically contest the next Lord that comes up. The hard part for them is actually getting through some of that front line that's being set up from Falcon Esports. And a lot of times it is Royal Milk, obviously, that will do that. Okay. But here we go again.
Again, Kid Bomba got taunted down by Dax.
Oh, backside.
On the Feather Airstrike. Look at Kid X onto the backside. Already casted the shortcut. Here comes Killing Spree coming in from PX7. They're working on Hiko. And they're able to take him down with the help of Royal Milk. Now Sawa caught in the midst of everything. Gonna use the AOG to walk away. One shot. One member left for Team Spirit. It's just Sawa and Falcon Esports again. Utilizing Kid X shortcut to reach the backline.
Royal Milk, all part of the plan, will get a triple. And there's the shots from Ben. He's actually going to slide into the base, work on the turret. They're looking to cap out the game. It's only Sawa left alone, taking the shots. They clear it out, and Falcon Esports will take it to another game.
Wow, channeling their inner strength, their flight, their fight. They're not going to back down to anyone, and they're looking to extend the series and take this once again to 5 great games.
It's step number 1.